My friends, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another tropical weather update, my friends. Hope everyone is doing good. So this live stream, we kind of got an idea now of where the storm potentially could be hitting. It does look like areas here of Nova Scotia as well as the northeast will be impacted by the system here to some extent. We're going to definitely need to be looking out there for the storm over the next several days. As the system barrels to the north here, it's expected to take that north turn here in a few days. But anyways, my friends, let's go ahead and see who we got ourselves here for today. We got ourselves, let's see here, we have Mark, we have Yankee, we have Braveheart, we have Dave, we have DJ, we have Leon, we have Black Label, we have Terry. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing good. Let's see here, when you come down to Florida, you have to try Burn Steakhouse in Tampa. It's the best steaks ever. Interesting. Well, I'll have to check that out. I'll take your word for it. But anyways, my friends, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Glad to have y'all here. So let's go ahead and jump on into the current state of the storm. Like I said, before we, obviously all the time before we, oh my gosh, is my camera tilted? Oh my gosh, it is. Look, I'm like, oh, I didn't want to do that. Hold on. We're having a bit of technical problems. Uh-oh. No. I don't know what happened. Uh-oh. Alright. Oh, here we go. I got it. Okay. We're good. We're good. Anyways, guys, what's up, everybody? Let's see. If it hits Nova Scotia, will it be a Category 1 or will it be more? It likely wouldn't be anything more than Cat 1. I'm thinking actually upper tropical storm, low in Cat 1 strength as the time it gets there. But anyways, right now it is a Cat 3 still. We're talking sustained winds of 115. We're talking gusts up to 140. So we are talking about some pretty big gusts here overall. We are talking the pressure of 948 millibars overall. So pressure is pretty low. Let's see here. T 2014 says, let's see, watching closely from Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia. Well, obviously, I'm glad to see that you're here, and I'm glad to see you're preparing for this. Like I said, now is the time to start preparing for the storm here, because the models as we're going to be looking at here obviously has this pinpointed, plus the hurricane center cone has this thing getting pretty daggone close to those regions here. I mean, this thing is about to hit land. It's going to hit land from what it looks like overall. Let's see here. Hello from Rocky Coast of Maine. What's up, Mike? Hope you're doing good. Electro Bro says hi. What's up? Hope you're doing good. But anyways, right now they have it forecasted to be right next to, right there, kind of getting near the Gulf of Maine. They have it getting at this point here kind of right around, like I said, for the afternoon of the 16th. Like I was saying, it's going to be the 16th and the 17th from when we're going to be feeling these impacts overall. And right now, according to the latest information coming in from the, from the Hurricane Center in terms of their forecast overall, we are talking the overall system to potentially be up to Cat 1 at the point being. Kind of low in Cat 1, 75 sustained. It's basically the bottom line you could have for hurricanes. Anything lower than that would be considered a tropical storm. Obviously, lower than 40 would be a tropical depression. But we are expecting this thing to potentially be right around Category 1 to tropical storm stage. Could be a possibility overall. See, I'm amazed how accurate these models were on this hurricane. They are. They're very accurate. We'll have to look at those here in a minute. Is Bermuda under a tropical storm watch? I don't think right now. No, there's not. But I do think that Bermuda could see the. I think that you guys can see those tropical storm force winds overall. So we work our way down here towards Bermuda. Yeah, the chances are pretty decent out there towards Bermuda. To see. It's hard, you can't even really see Bermuda there, but you guys got a decent shot at actually seeing the possibilities. Right now, Bermuda is actually in the 50 to 60% chance category. So the odds are likely we're going to see some tropical storm conditions. I would expect tropical storm watches soon to be issued out there. Let's see here. Is this going to hit New Jersey? More than likely it will not. Yeah, like I said, your guys aren't even in the cone. It's just going to continue to the north here. Like we were saying this morning, as we're going to be seeing here now. It's really these areas it's got to really look out for it. So if you live out there by Cape Cod, obviously coastal Maine here. If you live out there by central western Nova Scotia, obviously, you should be looking out there for it overall. Let's see here. What's up, Pilot? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. Hope everything is good with you. Let's see. Superstorm says, how am I doing? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good yourself. Yankee says, hi. Hope you're safe, Andrew. Oh, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. So you're doing a great job. Well, thank you, Yankee. Very, very sweet of you. I appreciate it. But anyways, yeah, like I said, it is forecasted. It is forecasted to continue barreling to the north here overall. And like I said, get there towards the northeast and out there by Nova Scotia. So it seems like that's a good possibility of where this thing is going to be overall. So we're gonna have to keep an eye out there for it. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to the spaghetti models. That's what I wanted to really show you guys here. So we obviously have the cone here now. Like I said, the cone does stretch its way up there. That northerly turn is getting ready to start commencing here. Like I said, it's really supposed to turn for the 13th overall. But let's go ahead and bring you guys over here to the models, like the spaghetti models. So you can see for at least the next 4 days, I mean, they are really in sync. They are really looking good overall. The system here is, the models here is looking very close together. You can see how, just how compacted those models are together, showing that there is a decent amount of agreement between these overall. And whenever it comes to, as we track way up north, there's a little bit more uncertainty, but there's, the models have this thing in a big question right around this area. It's actually where the cone is at, is actually for those regions there. But like I said, whenever it comes to it, it definitely looks like the possibility now of a, Gulf of Maine area impact is going to be expected across the regions. As you're going to see on the models, Cape Cod looks like you guys could get some pretty heavy winds along with some big waves. Coastal Maine's going to feel this one pretty good as well as Nova Scotia, obviously, in the terms of the possibility of those impacts out there. Let's see here. Going to have a lot of buoy action as it gets closer to New England with the waters. Yep, we do. Let's see here. Crazy how accurate models are. A lot of the models early last week hitting Nova Scotia. Looks like it's actually holding on to it. Yep. Let's see. Superstorm says, wouldn't this turn down to a Cat 1 by the time it reaches the northeast? More than likely, yes. It won't be anything stronger than Cat 2, by the way. Actually in the current forecast here, because it's gonna be running into some more, it's gonna be running into some dry air as it approaches the mid-Atlantic. It's gonna be driving into or riding into cooler waters once it gets up there near the northeast, as well as increased wind shear is going to be a problem with the storm. So, like I said, obviously the reason why this storm is turning is because of this amplified jet stream that we have going right over Florida, and this is basically steering the storm from continuing moving northwest. This is actually steering the storm to pull up to the north. So obviously Florida, the southeast, mid-Atlantic, you guys are pretty much good to go. We're not expecting any impacts out there. I mean, regarding direct impacts, I should say. But overall, I will tell you that we are, like I said, we are essentially seeing the probability of this thing making impacts across the Gulf of Maine, like I said, Nova Scotia, is becoming pretty high. Sorry about that. Let's see. How will Boston do? Never related to the city, just curious. So Boston, in terms of said Boston of Massachusetts, like you said, you guys are actually right there, and you guys will probably feel some, some effects out of this here overall. Obviously, Boston should prepare for this as well. Like I said, the cone does include Boston in the latest Hurricane Center graphic here. So obviously, that is something to watch out for. And like I said, now is the time to prepare. Now is the time to get your act together, to get everything together here and start preparing for the system. Because like I said, this thing, it looks like now it is going to be impacting portions of, obviously, these regions here pretty well. Between Nova Scotia as well as, Maine, even coastal Brunswick will probably feel this one pretty good as well. Obviously, Massachusetts, especially Cape Cod area, we're going to definitely feel the system pretty good. Let's see, will it hit inland New England or just the coast? Last time water came up on the road, says Yankee. So as of now, it looks like it's mostly going to stay to the coast of Maine for the most part. You said Maine overall, right? So New England. Like I said, yeah, for most of the Northeast here in general, it's just going to be brushing to the east here. And like I said, it's supposed to dig its way up here further in towards Brunswick, Nova Scotia potentially. That is what seems to be the greatest probability overall. Once again, back here's the hurricane spaghetti models, and you can actually see here, that we are seeing the main density of these models compacted and moving directly kind of north and turning northeast right over those areas here near, like I said, New Brunswick as well as Nova Scotia there. So that's that. How far into Maine will be affected? Like I said, it's still a little bit unknown at the point being, because like I said, if it shifts more east, obviously there's not going to be as many areas impacted, but if it shifts more west, then there's going to be a lot more impact. So just watch it for the next couple of days, because it's probably going to be hopping back and forth within this region here overall. See, Rex says thank you for the updates. You're very welcome, Rex. Very welcome. Let's see here. But like I said, we got to keep an eye out there. Could Delaware see a hurricane? What, Delaware? No. No, this is going to remain mostly to the northeast. Let's see here. Would this be worse than what happened with Hurricane Sandy? Probably not as bad. Obviously, like I said, there's still things that can change on it, but Sandy was just a massive storm that dumped a bunch of rain. Like I said, obviously, whenever it comes to it, there's things that's going to change. We really can't forecast the rain totals right now. But like I said, I think Sandy was a bit bigger of a storm. Yeah, it's a lot bigger of a storm. Here's the GEPS, I believe, GEFS ensembles here, and you can see the main members have the main density here, going right next to Nova Scotia. There, you can see the main. There's a couple of the members, a couple of the the ensemble models. Those members going closer to the northeast coast, but most of them have this thing pulling more east. Which it seems that is the most likely probability as of right now. Even the GEPS, you can see the main density is around that same area overall, with one exception going over Long Island there. So like I said, I think honestly, like I said, from what I'm seeing here, I really do believe that the storm is going to go somewhere in here. It's going to go somewhere between western Nova Scotia as well as eastern Maine. That's what I think the best probability is as of right now, overall. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it. Like I said, the models are gonna be shifting here and there. Obviously, that's expected. That's what happens a couple days before the event makes landfall. We're about 4 or 5 days away from it getting to this point. Which obviously, things are probably going to change. But like I said, at this point, usually we have ourselves a pretty decent idea overall. Let's see here. Jane says, thank you. You're very welcome. Kevin says, I really admire Andy's dedication to keeping everyone informed with the numerous reports he has provided us regard to this hurricane. Thank you. You're very welcome, Kevin. Very welcome. As someone in Virginia, I watched this close, ready to prepare, but since it's going north, a little early for me. But if you're near this area, prepare because it's a monster. Very scary. Yeah, no, Virginia's going to be fine. Yeah, the only thing that Virginia's going to be feeling is those waves. We're talking some pretty big waves, maybe some slight rising, maybe some slight coastal flooding could be a problem from the, the larger waves overall, but you know, but that's, you know, just for the coastlines. I mean, it's not even going to be terribly too crazy for most of those regions there, but you'll still feel it across the coast, that's for sure. What's the one going over New Jersey? That's just an outcast. Like I said, these are what we call outcasts because it's just one support. Meanwhile, a lot of the other models just show it. You know, the main density has it continuing north, while this one model says, or this one member, I should say, says it isn't. So, yeah, these are members you don't take into consideration because there's not enough support. Could the storm stall or slow down as it makes the northeast turn? Probably not. No, probably not. It's probably just going to get caught up in the jet stream, and then it's going to be sucked up into the Arctic Circle. Overall, that's probably what's going to happen with this. I was in Hurricane Katrina. I spent the whole day... Wait, what? Okay, Gore. All right. No, Katrina was a bad one. Katrina was definitely a bad one. But this is not going to be along the Katrina standards, by the way, guys. Like I said, obviously, whenever it comes to it, in terms of intensity, you know, I'm actually thinking upper tropical storm force, 2 lower category 1. Like I said, the pressure might be very low, but it's just because of the storm is so massive. It can disperse that pressure over a greater distance. That's why the pressure might be very low and might make you think it's a major hurricane whenever, in theory, or whenever it actually is just a bigger system overall that can disperse that pressure over a larger distance. Is orange tropical storm red cat 1? So what that means, that's actually pressure. Yeah, that's pressure. That's not intensity. So you can actually see here that, you know, obviously the red's kind of showing between 980, 970 millibar zone, you know, 970, 960 between like the kind of dark red color, and of course the orange is between 990, 980. So based off of pressure from that, not really the wind speeds or the category, I should say. Let's see here. Let's see here. See, like I said, that's that. Let's see. Is Galveston, Texas, or the Galveston, Texas from 1900 was massive and destructive. I didn't hear about that one. I did not hear about that one. But anyways, but yeah, so that's that, you guys. Let's go ahead and hop over here to some of the main models, like the GFS. We're going to take a look at real quickly, since we got some new information out of those models. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and hop you guys over there. So let's go ahead and hop our way over to the North Atlantic here. So whenever it comes to the GFS model, overall, you can see the system works its way to the northwest and pulls north because we got this, you know, low pressure system starting to kick off there. It's diving a little cold front, you know, some higher pressure building in from behind here overall. And then, like I said, this thing pulls to north. The GFS, yeah, GFS has this thing going right over western Nova Scotia and pulling kind of in there closer to New Brunswick there. And then it gets caught up, like I said, you know, gets caught up in the jet stream and then rolls its way through and just gets, you know, sucked up into the Arctic Circle eventually. So that's what the latest GFS model has to say. The European model, the ECMWF model, this one has it kind of going around Bermuda. Like I said, I still think Bermuda is going to be seeing tropical storm conditions. So I would, you know, if you're in Bermuda, I would prepare for very rough seas as well as tropical storm conditions being a good possibility overall. Whenever it comes to the European model, like I said, it looks like it actually agrees fairly well with the GFS. Although it does show it getting a little closer to like Cape Cod, which I think could be a good possibility. And even those regions up there should monitor its progression. I mean, you can see according to the European model, it does get very close to those regions. In terms of sustained winds here, I mean, you can see those winds could get well over 50 knots, which that is well into mid-tropical storm. But yeah, so that is, you know, that is essentially kind of what we are seeing here overall. Let's see here. What category do I think? Let's see here. Follow Lee or Margaret. Oh, is that the new one that's going to develop? That's still too early. I'm just going to, like I said, we're putting that one on the back burner for now. We'll just have to, you know, keep it out there for it. Let's see. I found the stream through the Discord service of Superstorm. That's cool. Let's see here. But yeah, so like I said, we're just going to have to keep an eye on it. What's up, Jenny? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. But like I said, yeah, like definitely the Northeast needs to monitor this here. It seems like the latest models do have this thing pulling into, pulling into the Gulf of Maine. It seems like that's a good possibility. The GFS on top of that as well. Like I said, the GFS has it maybe a little bit more to the east overall, but those winds could still achieve tropical storm force by Cape Cod. It seems like the European model wants it a little bit more west. But the overall verdict is this thing continues pulling north. This thing does not go out to sea. This thing will more than likely impact Nova Scotia as well as the northeastern U.S., especially out there towards like coastal Maine, coastal Massachusetts. That's kind of what we are, seeing here overall. Kyle says, I live in Massachusetts, north of Boston. Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, you're going to want to definitely watch out for this one here overall. Let's see here. Breezy says, hi, what's up, Breezy? Hope you're doing good. Let's see, is it hitting Massachusetts? Come on. So it looks like it could definitely impact Massachusetts. I think that's a good potential. Like I said, once again, especially the European model, it seems like the European model really wants this thing to get a little close for liking to areas here towards Massachusetts overall. Like I said, really there for Cape Cod. I think you guys are going to see the worst of it overall. Let's see here. What category will Lee be on landfall? So we're kind of talking upper tropical storm force, lower Cat 1 is what I believe. Because this thing's going to get severely damaged as it runs through the stronger winds, as it pulls in a lot of dry air. For example, let me actually show you an example of that here overall. Whenever it comes to it with the dry air, I mean, you could literally see. We get a big site here. I'm going to have to pull out here to the North Atlantic again. But there you go. So as this thing rolls its way up to the northwest and pulls north here, right around the 14th, it's going to start to draw in a lot of dry air. You can really see on the southern flank. So with that high pressure, obviously after that cold front, there's a lot of dry and, obviously overall... just pretty much just overall dry conditions, and you can see that gets kind of sucked its way into the southwest flank and eventually gets caught up in the eastern side of the cyclone. So that is something that we need to, definitely something we need to be looking out there for. It's going to cause it to start to destabilize a bit, especially with that wind shear too. Here, I'll go and show you all that. So the wind shears, you can see a big jet going right through the system right there. It's going to really cut that left-hand side off pretty well. I think there's not going to be too much convection to the storm, honestly, considering that the amount of dry air and the amount of wind shear that's just ripping this system apart. I mean, this thing is probably, even as the future, the GFS infrared shows, it shows that convection blown to the northwest of the center. So the overall cyclonic motion is going to be basically, stripped overall, and we're going to be seeing the core of the storm, even though the convection is blown to the northwest. Now there is going to be some rain obviously out of this here. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a lot of dry air that's going to be drawn up into the storm, which is going to help this thing weaken overall. So overall, like I said, I think that this thing is going to be overall into the upper tropical storm force, lower category 1 force overall. Let's see here. What category is it now? Right now it's a Cat 3. Right now it's a Cat 3. Here, I'll go ahead and show you real quickly. So here is the current cone. This is the latest hurricane outlook. So in the current moment, we're talking sustained winds of 115, so 115 miles per hour, with wind gusts getting up to right around 140 right now. Central low pressure is 948 millibars, so pretty low overall. Let's see here. Nicole says, can I go over wave heights? Of course, I can do that real quickly. So whenever it comes to the wave heights, let's go ahead and actually update this here real quickly. We've got some more models that came through. I think we got, let's see here, the 12 Zulu is the one we're going to look at here. All right, let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to the main screen. So this is the wave heights according to the, ECMWF overall. So as we work our way down in time, you can actually see how the system really kicks up some waves across portions here of, eastern Florida, there towards Fort Lauderdale, and pretty much going up throughout the entire, not most of the entire East Coast overall. Like I said, the table has at least 10-foot waves out there, which is pretty crazy. Let's see here. Jenny coming in with a $3 super chat. Thank you so much, Jenny. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. Much love to you, Jenny. Hope you're doing good. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. But like I said, that does increase. The waves definitely get pretty big. It looks like across the Mid-Atlantic. Once again, Jenny, thanks so much. It gets pretty big across the Mid-Atlantic there. Maybe out there towards like Nag's Head. Could get a little higher, maybe 20 plus. Out there and see, like I said, this is not on the coastlines. This is kind of out there in, obviously some pretty deep water overall. Now, across the coastlines, there is going to be some big waves. There is going to be some big waves as well. But then we work our way down in time, and obviously as this thing works its way towards the Gulf of Maine, out there towards, Nova Scotia, we're going to be seeing those waves really amplify. I mean, possibly up to 40 to 50-foot waves, maybe even slightly higher could be a possibility. But regardless, it's going to be very dangerous for any vessel to be out in that. So, like I said, obviously you have a couple days to prepare. So if you are navigating this direction, alter your course around the system, because this is going to have some very big waves and very big effects up there for the Northwest Atlantic out there. Like I said, right there for the Northeast United States. So that is that. Do I expect more of a westerly jog? Not right now. I'm not really seeing much support on it. I think that, honestly, I think it's good to what it's doing here. Let's see. Thank you so much for always keeping us updated. You're awesome. You're very welcome, Marcia. Very, very welcome. Let's see here. Nicole says, thanks, Long Island wave heights. So whenever it comes to areas out there by Long Island, you can kind of see on the eastern side, it possibly could get above 20-foot waves out there in the sea overall. It's a possibility. Like I said, I'm not saying that that's going to exactly happen, but somewhere in that range is possible. Let me actually zoom in a little further up to the coastal areas here of Long Island. You can actually see that it's kind of in that, orangish red on the far eastern stretch. So that's kind of in that, around that 20-foot margin overall. But that's kind of what we're seeing here. That is kind of what we are seeing here. And like I said, whenever it comes to it here, I mean, those waves are going to be pretty large. I think Cape Cod's going to really feel that actually as well, overall. Let's see here. So I'll get photos of the waves when safe to do so. Yeah. Definitely don't put yourself in danger out there. Let's see. Rainbow says, "You rock, Andrew. Will you stream if it hits Nova Scotia?" Of course. Yes, I'll be live as this thing makes impacts. Of course. Like I said, I'll always be here for you guys whenever it comes to the weather. I mean, beforehand and during the systems. You bet. You bet I'll be here for you guys. Let's see here. Superstorm, we don't really know right now. We'll have to keep an eye on it. If that's what you're talking about, that new storm, we'll just keep that one on the back burner. Let's see here. Thanks for the response. You're very welcome. If the heavy convection stays to the west of Nova Scotia, we would be quite lucky if we have trouble flooding situation over there. So I'm just fingers crossed. It seems like that's a good possibility because, like I said, across those regions, we are going to be seeing some, pretty amplified, winds out there. The jet is going to be pretty strong. That's actually the component that's steering the storm to the north. Is this jet here? Is this jet overall? So, obviously as this thing pulls north, as this thing does pull its way here to the north overall, it is going to get sheared overall, which is going to allow for the storm to, kind of break apart overall. So I said overall like 3 times just there. But, yeah, definitely is going to rip it up. Looks to be a possibility. Not like I said, and also with that as well, we are seeing, a lot of dry air being pulled its way in across the Mid-Atlantic. I said with that high-pressure ridge that we're going to have, across areas here of, like I said, the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and Northeast here for around September 15th. So we're talking still 4 days away or so. A lot of that dry air gets, shot up here overall. Let's see. Boat owners have been receiving alerts since last week here in Massachusetts. Yeah, no, like I said, if you're sailing out in those areas, I mean, we got to definitely be looking out for it because, like I said, this is going to cause some really rough seas. And once again, it could be over 40-foot waves. Seems to be a possibility. Seems to be a possibility overall. Let's see here. What happened when Lee and Margo meet? It seems like, according to the models, they should remain, I mean, they're kind of close, but they're also kind of not. You can see them both right here. Here's the GFS. Didn't mean to grab a sound in there. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. So, except between, there's Lee and then there's Margo. They're probably going to be relatively far away from each other. They aren't expected to converge or anything like that as of right now overall. So, that's kind of what it looks like. I live in New Hampshire. Let's see, would it hit us at all? Let's see here. So up there by New Hampshire, you very well probably could see a bit of rain out of the storm, maybe a little bit of winds overall too. But obviously, you know, the effects are going to be mostly felt across the coastlines, you know, for the most part. I mean, obviously with New Hampshire, I mean, New Hampshire has like the smallest coastline ever. I mean, literally, that's New Hampshire's coastline. It's like this little line here. Let's actually see how wide this is. Literally, the coastline is 14 miles across. So the coastlines of New Hampshire will definitely be feeling some bigger waves and some pretty strong winds overall. So yes, no, New Hampshire will feel that effects. Feel some effects out there. Let's see here. Bo Mama says, hey Andrew and crew, what's up? Listening while working. Hope you're doing well, sir. Well, I hope you're doing good as well. Thank you for joining us. Hope you are doing good. Let's see here. Oh, guys, also, I do want to show you, this system is, this thing is forecasted, the one over here towards Margo. Margo is expected to actually become a Category 2 now. It looks like it could become a Cat 2 right around the morning of the 13th. Seems to be a possibility. You know, seems to be a possibility out there. And like I said, whenever it comes to it, it looks like it's going to be kind of a short, you know, overall a short lived Cat 2. Then it just kind of stalls, it looks like. So we'll have to see what happens after that. Let's see here. Gotta be quiet for a second. My husky is singing again. Oh my gosh. Those dogs are very vocal. Very vocal. So you got some little thunderstorms, some OS, says Aiden. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, we actually do have a little bit of a severe weather threat today. I did not mention that. Little itty-bitty threat. It's not really that little, to be honest. But we got ourselves a decent threat for severe weather across west central Texas into southeastern New Mexico here. You can see that satellite view really showing all those storms that are popping up there. So that's a threat for hail, damaging winds, and a few isolated tornadoes can't be ruled out. How's it looking for Rhode Island? So Rhode Island, obviously, yes, you guys have got to monitor this as well, especially areas by Cape Cod. Like I was saying, obviously Cape Cod is going to be impacted pretty heavily, it looks like, especially like the European model as we were looking at there. It really shows some pretty strong winds out in that direction. And I'm sure that areas out there by Rhode Island would get some pretty heavy winds overall too. And especially those coastal impacts, you know, regarding bigger waves and maybe some swelling, maybe some, you know, mild coastal flooding could be a possibility, mild to moderate. So that's that. Let's see here. Let's see. Maine here. Should I haul my 20-foot boat? I would take it, like I said, obviously that's up to you. But like I said, the waves are going to get very rough out there. Once again, I'll go ahead and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if I hop back over here to the ECMWF model, you can actually see as it approaches the Gulf of Maine, you know, we're talking at least 30-foot waves being a good possibility out there. So coastal Maine's going to really feel some big waves of the storm, and that would definitely be rocking those boats for sure. Absolutely. So that's up to you. I would definitely secure them very well, you know, if they're in the water, because this is going to be very crazy with those waves overall. Like I said, even for the people who's planning to navigate the waters, you got to avoid this storm at all costs, because this is going to be a very nasty one. Let's see here. Liz says, thank you for the update. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Let's see, what kind of winds are we talking around Massachusetts? So from what it looks like, we'll go ahead and hop you guys back over here. That's the satellite view. Let's pull back to the pull back over here. So whenever it comes to like the ECMWF model, and we'll pull up the northeast here. So with the winds, you can kind of see out there towards, you know, like Cape Cod we were talking about. You see how it's kind of in that pink, which is showing around 50 knot wind barbs. So 50 knots is right around like, you know, 55, 58 miles an hour, kind of in mid upper 50s in terms of miles an hour. So it's going to be in tropical storm force more than likely. You know, the GFS kind of, you know, withdraws from that a little bit. But even then, it's still showing at least 30 knots, which is, you know, kind of cutting it close to tropical storm force winds or not. But it seems like most of these models does support this. I mean, here's the CMC model showing over 40 knot winds, which would be in the tropical storm status overall, kind of lower in tropical storm status. Icon, here's another model Icon model is actually kind of showing it between 30 35 knots, which could get up to tropical storm force. These aren't gusts either. These are sustained winds. And so obviously, yeah, we're gonna be seeing some higher wind gusts out there by the coast overall. How about Florida? Florida's not going to really feel too much about this. The only thing is for the eastern side of Florida, where the coast is. I think we're going to have some coastal effects, especially with those waves like I was talking about. Probably the waves could get around 10 foot or so. I mean, the waves could be pretty decent sized. Here, I'll go and share real quickly. The southeast. We'll go ahead and full screen this for you guys so you can see a little better. But you can see at this point in being, it really kind of showing the heaviest here between the 14th, moving into the 15th, and then kind of withdrawing here for the 16th overall. But it seems like the worst is going to be right around the 15th. But you can see the yellow there, that's right around the table of 10 plus foot overall. David says, thank you, you're very welcome. Let's see here. Thank you so much for the information. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. Let's see. Will Margo make landfall anywhere? As of right now, it's not expected to. Not expected to. Let's see here. KM says, do I think this will be similar to Fiona? Like I said, obviously Fiona did hit Nova Scotia there. I think that is what they share in common, is the fact that it could be, you know, impacting those regions out there. I mean, like I said, right now it seems like the heaviest impacts are going to be in western Nova Scotia, as well as the Gulf of Maine, obviously including, you know, areas here by Cape Cod and Maine's coast overall. I think we'll have some pretty decent pretty decent effects, I should say. Let's see here. Do I think that I would be able to fly my wooden kite? It's blue. I don't think the color is going to have to do with anything with the flight, but the winds probably. The winds will probably be that strong to actually have a kite up, if that's what you're wondering. But that's nice that your kite is blue. Let's see here. Mr. Grinch says, what does your kite being blue have to do with anything? I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like the color doesn't matter. Let's see here. Does the new Invest have a chance of hitting New York? Oh, it's way too far out to be tracking that far. I mean, we're going to have to watch that for over 10 days. But yeah, still can't get over that. Yeah, my kite's blue. Apparently blue messes with the aerodynamics of it, you know? Man, I always love those red kites because they really glide through the wind. More than those blue ones. But anyways, guys, that's that. So let's actually take a look here at the satellite view real quickly. I'm going to show you guys what's going on here overall. Like I said, here is the system, the current moment. Like I said, we are seeing, it looks a little better. Actually, wait a minute. Is that a bit of clearing I see? Oh my golly. That might even be an eye right there. Look at that. We got an eye right in the middle of that. So that thing is redeveloping its eye. Holy cow. It's been gone for a couple days now, ever since it ran into that wind shear. It hasn't really been visible. But overall, the system, I mean, it's doing better. It looks a lot more better overall. Let's see here. I'm in western Nova Scotia. Let's see here. Fiona came far into the east side. Let's see. What felt in the western side for sure. Hopefully it's not as strong as Fiona. Gotcha. Yeah, it seems like this one's going to mostly affect the west side as of right now. Let's see here. It's finally pouring through the Aiden. Gotcha. Aiden says, sorry, I missed the past few streams. It's alright. You're good. Texas says, blue kite approved. Yes, absolutely. That's pretty funny. Let's see here. But yeah, it seems like the western side, like I was talking about, guys, the western side of Nova Scotia as well as the northeast coast, it seems like you guys are going to be feeling the most of it overall. The worst of it. I mean, even out there by, like I said, the Gulf of Maine, it's going to be pretty impactful out in those regions here. Yeah, look at this. Oh, wow. So let me actually full screen this for you guys. So here's the HWRF, and you can actually see, that's what I was saying, Bermuda's got to watch out too. Because it has Bermuda, you can barely see that on the screen there, but it has Bermuda getting in those 50-knot wind barbs to the northwest. So that's going to cause a little bit of flooding, a little bit of coastal flooding out there by the southern side of Bermuda, as well as those winds are going to be in mid-level tropical storm force, essentially. So I think personally that, yeah, I think that Bermuda, you got to monitor this. But Bermuda, I'm pretty confident the fact you're going to be seeing some tropical storm force winds. I think it's a good possibility. Here's another model. This is the HMON. This model in particular, kind of, you can't really see Bermuda, but it does have 50 knots. It's just off the side of my screen here. I can full screen it to show you. You can see right there how it has that 50 knots overall. So this thing is, like I said, this thing will more than likely be producing tropical storm force winds across portions of Bermuda. Not to mention, those wave heights could be well over 40 foot, unfortunately. Let's see here. HAFSA. Let's see here. So this one, you can see Bermuda right there on the side. Right there, kind of possibly around lower end tropical storm force winds. It does show a few markers, maybe a little higher. So, I'd say mid-lower tropical storm force winds according to the HAFS model. Then it works its way up here to the north. Actually, this one has it going, yeah, there's Cape Cod right there. Just keeps on pulling north, it looks like. Just keeps on pulling north here for the most part. Then we got ourselves HAFSB, the sequel to this other model. And whenever it comes to this one, let's see here. Actually, Bermuda's pretty far away. You can't really see it, but it's showing around 30, 35 knots, which is cutting close to tropical storm force. So that's that. Let's see. This thing's done some odd stuff, kind of weird. It has for sure. Like I said, the system's growing very large too. I mean, it's gone from quite a compacted storm, now it's growing into a a lot bigger storm overall. Let's see here. But that's that's kind of what we're seeing here overall. Let's see here, infrared. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking to you guys about. So like I said, with that really strong wind shear here, like I said, you can see that the southeastern quadrant of the storm and the southern quadrant is exposed. Made a big bean right there. There's a big bean. But overall, like I said, the southern side and the eastern side, or southeastern side overall, is exposed because of that wind shear. And that dry air, actually. Most of it's from the dry air, actually. Which, let me actually show you that real quickly. So, yeah, according to the dry air at that moment being, you can see how it's not as high in humidity overall. Let's see here. I'm going to go eat some food. Alright, sounds good, Aiden. That shear makes it real wonky. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the shear and the dry air, like I said, it's going to really take in a lot of dry air once it works its way out there towards the mid-Atlantic area. I mean, like I said, you can actually see here that the overall, it's relatively fine with moisture. For the most part, it experienced a little dry air to the southwest here, basically for the 13th as it starts steering north. But once it gets involved with that high-pressure ridge out there, that's going to allow all that dry air that's behind that frontal mass to get sucked its way into the southern and eventually the eastern flank of the storm. And that's going to help, shred it apart, keep that convection away from the east side, which overall would be pretty good. Overall would be actually pretty good in general. Yeah. Let's see here. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like is what's going to happen. I don't have a name. Says hi. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Let's see here. But yeah, that's kind of what it seems to be, in terms of the system. Like I said, there's... oh my gosh, what the heck, GFS. Dude, the GFS... Don't trust this one bit, guys. It literally shows Lee 2.0 doing the same thing. Look at that. One right after another. It hits Nova Scotia, and another one goes right over Nova Scotia. Like I said, don't trust that. That's way too far out. It's gonna change. I will bet $100,000 that that's gonna change. I just find that funny how the GFS just kind of shows it happening once and then just doing it again. Oh my, you gotta love this model sometimes. But that system overall is expected to develop. It is forecasted to develop overall. Let's see here. Yeah, it's Lee 2.0 according to that run, which is a little odd. Let's see here. What's the chance of it re-strengthening? I mean, over the next day or so, yeah, there's a good chance it could strengthen a bit. It's forecasted to, actually. Yeah, it could get back up in right now it's 115 sustained. It's forecasted to at least get back up to 120. So, not too much, but... Let's see here. So, it's not going to Florida? No, it's not going to hit Florida directly. Florida's east coast will see some pretty big waves and some choppy waters, but that's about it. Let's see here. How far inland Maine will it be impacted? Like I said, that's still to be worked out. That's still to be worked out because, you know, the models have an idea. Like I said, obviously the models are agreeing on the fact that this thing's going to be impacting right there by the Gulf of Maine and Nova Scotia. It seems like it's going to be pulled up to the east. It seems like the density of the models has this thing kind of going eventually there towards like New Brunswick. Most of it remaining east of Maine. But like I said, I mean, that could still change. That could definitely still change. And, you know, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's see. Take a straight shot this Florida. Yeah, like I said, gaming, that's way too far out to tell. I mean, like I said, the system that we're paying attention to, I think we have an invest number already for it. Is it 97L? Yep. 97L. There it is. Tracking northwest. We have 98L as well. Let's see here, 98L. Interesting. Yeah, don't have too much support on that model yet, or on that storm yet. Same with both of them, really. There's a lot of uncertainty. You can see just how far gapped these. You can see just how far gapped the spaghetti models are for that system. So, like I said, I'm not worried about it right now. Let's just, you know, keep our mind just on Lee right now at the moment. But like I said, guys, it has an eye now. Like I said, it literally in the last frame has an eye. It looks like. I mean, look at that. In the last few frames, boom, right there. She did it. First time it had an eye since it encountered that wind shear. So thank you for the information. You're very welcome, Gypsy. Very, very welcome. I don't know, all the hurricane models pulled towards Maine. Not all of them, no. What's the gray line? What gray line? We're talking about we're just looking at the spaghetti models. The gray line, that's one of the models. Let's see here. My daughter's in Florida. I was so apprehensive. Glad to hear. Get out people involved in this. Absolutely. Like I said, yeah, we got to be watching this here. You know, we got to be watching this here overall. I mean, like I was saying, you know, right now is the time to start preparing if you live across the Northeast. I mean, really in these regions here, I would heavily consider, you know, starting to get ready for the storm. Because, like I said, you know, it seems like we've locked target here for areas by these regions, you know, towards Nova Scotia as well as Maine and out there even really close to Massachusetts. I mean, it looks like Canada and the U.S. will have some impacts out of the storm. It's a good possibility. Can hurricanes have two eyes? No. They can't. Texas says it's just dry air. Well, obviously, there is dry air in the eye. You know that, right? That could very well be an eye. Could very well be an eye. I mean, yeah, it's forecasted to become a bigger storm overall, so that's really not surprising that if it is. Let's see. But yeah, no, hurricanes cannot have two eyes. But let's see here. So we got recon. Is there anybody flying in this right now? We got one mission, two missions. Oh, we had one that already flew into it. Oh, here we go. There we go. So big. There you go. Yeah, the pressure gave out there. But the winds peaked there right around 80 knots. You can't see that. Let me zoom out a little further. There you go. 80 knots on the western eye wall whenever they flew into it the first time. Or when they flew through the western side. Yeah, they finished that mission. And there's another one apparently en route. The amount of information we're getting on it's a little skipped, as you can see. But, yeah. So is there another mission? Let's see here. In progress. Another one. Upper level drop zone mission. So this one's collecting data to put in the models overall. Yeah, there you go. Looks like it has an eye. I mean, look at this. Here, I'll go ahead and show you. Let me pull back up the infrared view, and we're going to switch actually to the true color. Yep, look at that. I mean, seriously, that looks like an eye to me. Looks like it has an eye again. Let's see here. Love says, I love your broadcast. You are the best. I watch whenever it's coming my family's way. You give the best coverage. Well, thank you, Love Garden. Greatly appreciated. So I try to do the best I can to help out as many people as possible. That's obviously the main point of the channel, is to make sure that everybody is being safe and that everybody is prepared. That's all we care about out here. And, like I said, we'll do, we'll definitely do whatever we can to help out. We'll always be here, no matter what. And like I said, we'll be here for the coverage for Nova Scotia and in the northeast if it hits. Does that mean it's intensifying? More than likely it is, yes. Yep, that's it right now. It's really amazing because you can actually see it sucking in all this air. See that? And then we got some of that air being pulled down a little bit. Really shows you that counterclockwise motion. And if you look closely, what's really cool is the venting process. You see how it kind of goes clockwise? Bet you guys, some of you guys didn't know that. They vent clockwise to the upper atmosphere. And in the lower atmosphere, they rotate counterclockwise. In the northern hemisphere, anyways. And it's reversed in the southern hemisphere. But no, it looks like it's got its eye together. It's definitely been trying for a little bit, but it looks like it's definitely trying to get that eye right now. You can see that big dry slot right there. Big old donut hole. Let's see here. I'm inland in Maine. What's the wind looking like with us? So it determines on how far it moves to the west and how big it is and how strong it is overall. That's a subject to really change for you. But like I said, it could get up to 40-50 knots right there by Cape Cod area. Obviously, that's a little bit to your southeast, or a little bit to your south. Sorry. Like I said, let's just keep an eye on it. We're going to have to just monitor its progression here over the next little bit. I mean, obviously, once again, in terms of intensity, strength, and size, that's going to determine what it's going to do. And how strong those winds, I should say, are going to be. So, that's that. Are we thinking flooding on the coast of Maine? Yes, I think that's going to be a good possibility due to those bigger waves overall. Definitely is. Let's see here. Even if it's not direct hit, yeah, not far off the coast, just curious. Yeah, we're talking, coastal flooding being a good possibility. In terms of, precipitation, it's a little unknown. Sorry for that buzzing noise. It's a little unknown, like I said, how much rain is going to carry, because, like I said, there's going to be a lot of dry air that gets sucked its way into the storm here. Help you guys back over here. Yeah, so you can really see how it just sucks in a lot of dry air right here at this point. At this point being, it just really takes in a lot of dry air overall. Yeah, I mean that really hurts the system with that dry air for sure. Might even keep the eastern side partially clear, but still really strong winds could be involved. And of course we got GFS being stupid, showing that second exact copy. Got a copycat Lee over here. Like I said, that's way too far out to tell. Don't freak out because of that. That is literally for the 23rd. That's very far out. Now, the system's existence is expected. The system's existence down here, it's going to happen. It's more than likely going to happen. But as far as tracking it in that part of time, there ain't no way. There ain't no way. See, be prepared, Bermuda. Yes, Bermuda needs to prepare for it. Like I said, I'm really expecting tropical storm winds could be expected out there by Bermuda. Wouldn't be surprised if we get tropical storm watches here soon. Like I said, would not be surprised if we get tropical storm watches here soon for Bermuda. I think they're going to be needed because it looks like, obviously whenever it comes to it, there's big waves out there, which that's not what makes it tropical storm. But like I said, the winds is what's going to make this thing a tropical storm for you guys, more than likely. So tropical storm force winds is pretty much a given. It's almost it's mostly a likelihood overall. Yeah, it's more than likely. Let's see. If the hurricane has an eye, is that good or bad for us? So usually if it has an eye, that means it's strengthening. It's organizing overall. So that's that. Is that a third wave behind it? Let's see. So we have this one, and let's see. So that's Lee right here. That's Margo. That's 97L, I think. That's all we got. Let's see here. Man, I gotta shingle my grandmother's roof. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Yeah, I don't want that water leaking through for sure. Oh my gosh! Proxy just donated $75! Oh my gosh! Proxy, what's up? Proxy, you did not have to do... Oh my gosh! Proxy just literally supported us with $75. Oh my gosh, Proxy, I am blown away. Thank you so much, Proxy. We missed you. See, Proxy says, always glad to drop onto your streams often as I can. You are the best, Andrew, from Proxy. Proxy, thank you so much. That is so sweet of you. We love you, Proxy. We really love you. Like I said, we all missed you here. Thank you so much, Prox. You have no idea how much that means to me. Proxy coming in again? With $15 super chat? Proxy! You do not have to do this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, Proxy, for that. Like I said, that is super sweet. I'm so glad to have you here, Proxy. Like I said, please know you don't have to do this. Like I said, just having you here, just you hanging out with us is what we care about. But thank you so much, Proxy. That is so sweet of you. See, Proxy says hi, everybody. Rock on, Andrew. Thank you so much, Proxy. So we missed you. Every single one of us here missed you. Thank you so much, Proxy. From the bottom of my heart, that's very, very generous. Very sweet of you. We love you, Proxy. Thank you so much. Once again, here it comes in. It's a little late on my end, but I appreciate it. Proxy, big thank you. Hope everything's going good with you. We love you. And if there's anything I can do for you, Proxy, please let me know, okay? Thank you so much once again, Proxy. It's super, super duper sweet of you. I really appreciate it. But anyways, let's go ahead and see. We're going to go ahead and hop over back here to the icon. I want to actually show you guys the icon model here overall. Let's go ahead and hop you guys over to the northeast here in general. So we work our way down in time. So the icon model, you know, kind of agree. Wow, really big system you can see. I mean, this thing gets pretty huge. According to the icon, let's see here. Oh my gosh, Proxy coming up with memberships too. Proxy, you do not have to do any of this. Oh my god. Holy cow. Proxy, thank you so much. Coming in with 10 memberships. 10 memberships, the 75 on Venmo and the 15 on the Super Chat. Proxy, I love you. Thank you so much. You are amazing. You really help out this channel so much. You're going to be hearing that for a little bit. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Proxy. We love you. Once again, super, super sweet of you. Big support. Or big support. And big shout-outs go to you. Thank you so much, guys. Please give Proxy a big thank you. That is much appreciated. Much appreciated. But anyways, but yeah, so according back over here to the icon model, like I said, it looks like Western Nova Scotia will definitely be impacted here overall, according to this in particular model run. Back over here towards, like I said, the GFS, the latest GFS run has it kind of in the same area overall. Like I said, I really believe that central and western sides here of Nova Scotia, as well as, like I was saying, the northeast is going to be impacted here. Basically from Cape Cod and throughout portions here of Maine's coast, as well as, you know, the central, the western sides here of Nova Scotia. That's going to be where the heavy, like I said, that's where the heavy impacts is going to be, according to most of these models. The European model overall, you can kind of see how the European model kind of veers a little bit closer towards Cape Cod there. And you can see how it actually works its way out there. So many memberships coming through. Once again, Proxy, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. See, Proxy says, I missed a whole NW16 fan. We missed you, Proxy. I literally had a lot of people asking where you're at. And hoping, you know, hoping that you were okay and everything like that. But, Proxy, thank you, seriously. And I hope that you're doing very well, Proxy. Like I said, we love you. Every single one of us here loves you. But yeah, like I said, the European model shows it getting a little further west, but still ultimately impacting the areas out here towards, you know, Nova Scotia overall. So, you know, that seems like a common ground. I mean, icon model, we looked at CMC, the icon shows it in the same place. So overall, like I said, you know, you can actually see, you can actually see the majority of the models has it going right there next to Western Nova Scotia, and actually right there by, right there by the, like I said, right there by the areas here of the Gulf of Maine. Let's see here. Sorry, I didn't realize membership were so loud. I can actually turn that down. Let me turn it down a little bit. That was a little loud. Sorry, y'all. Sorry for the blasted eardrums. Let's see here. Let's see. Mary says, I'm so happy to see Proxy. I'm crying. Aw. You want to help me shingle a roof, says Latex? I would if I could. I would. Like I said, obviously, I'm a helping individual. I would help, but it's a little hard for me to get out there. Let's see here. Will IL, so Illinois, I'm taking it. Illinois will not be affected by this. Nope, Illinois will not feel this at all. What Illinois will feel, though, is a bit of high pressure out there. So pretty nice conditions could be possible while the system rolls through. And that high pressure system is actually, going to be part of it from keeping it further away from, like, the mid-Atlantic. Because it looks like I said, we're going to have two areas of high pressure squeezing the system kind of, in the direction of the northeast and, Nova Scotia overall in general. See here, Long Island. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, not L-I. I-L is Illinois. I'm sorry, Mr. Grinch. No, Long Island will certainly be impacted by this, in terms of coastal conditions, bigger waves overall, rip currents. That will be a problem. But whenever it comes to, like I said, direct landfall, it seems as of now, it seems it's mostly east of you. But just be aware that conditions are rapidly evolving and rapidly changing. So, like I said, it could definitely change. Let's see here. Mary says, by the way, glad to see you stream. Did I see you yesterday? Well, glad to have you here, Mary. Hope you're doing good. See, Jerome says, how about Virginia Beach? Same thing that goes, for Long Island, but more of the fact it's not going to have any direct landfall problems for you. It's not going to make landfall over Virginia Beach, so you're good with that. The only thing that you're going to have as a problem with this, like I said, is the rip currents, the big waves overall. That is the problem, and that's what we are going to be seeing here out there. Let's see here. But anyways, hypothetically, how bad would it be if a high-pressure system moves to around 5 miles away from, or 500 miles away from New England and pushes towards New England? So you're talking like over here. That would help feed it into the northeast, but that's hypothetical. That's not a not a factor in this one. No, it's actually a bit of low pressure out there by the central Atlantic right now. Got a lot of high pressure though building in up north for sure. It's humid and cold here. Yeah. And that's the thing about the system, like I was saying, is that the convection is mostly going to be on the left-hand side from what it looks like. Here, I'll show you. Because like I said, once it approaches the mid-Atlantic, and once that frontal mass, you take that cold front rolls through, and the dry air behind it overall, you can actually see how, the dry air gets sucked up into the storm on the southern flank and into the eastern side. And overall, like I said, the whole right-hand side could be completely cut off from convection. Could possibly be just completely exposed to the air, and just still strong winds, but that's about it. And the left hand side remains quite overall quite moist for the most part. Most of your rainfall would be to the west from what it looks like. So honestly, I really do agree with this. I really do agree with this overall from the models. It seems like it's a great thing between the model runs. Like I said, it's ultimately going to happen here is the western side's going to have a lot of that convection, and the right-hand side's going to have not much. This really does a good, this really kind of prints a good picture of what, is likely going to happen. What I mean by it is the center of the storm is right here. All that storm activity is pushed to the left because all this dry air infiltration just gets sucked up into the right-hand side. And so, that's kind of what we're talking about here. That is kind of what we're seeing here. Our humidifiers are working overtime. Yeah. What day will the storm hit Nova Scotia? So it looks like it'll be here for the 16th and 17th. Those are the impact days. So it's going to start on the 16th. You're going to feel it really heavy on the 16th, late 16th into the 17th overall. Let's see. We definitely missed you, Proxy. Yeah, we all did. Once again, Proxy, we love you. Thank you so much for that. Very, very sweet support. We love you. That's super sweet. I mean, you did not have to do any of that. That is much appreciated. Oh my gosh, look how big the eye is on this one. Why does the GFS has this eye, like, bigger than, like, according to it, it even apparently has it at this point now, which that's not the case. It's a little odd. Here, like I said, right now, here's the current satellite imagery of it. I mean, we got a little clearing there. You go right there. Boom. It looks like that little eye there. Also a bit of dry air on the northern top. Right there. Oh, right here. So, see, Superstorm. Yeah, see you later, man. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. How bad are we going to get this near Rhode Island? So, you know, like I said, obviously Rhode Island, you know, is going to be really feeling it out there by the coastlines, you know, mostly of Rhode Island. I think it honestly could be pretty windy too. I mean, I'd say tropical storm conditions, that's a new one. Tropical storm conditions theoretically could be possible overall. Let's see here, so I have 2 days. Latex, so like I said, obviously this is hitting for the 16th into the 17th overall. So you got really about 5 to 6 days to prepare for this. Unless you're, like I said, if you're in Bermuda, though, Bermuda, it's going to be passing through basically for the 14th. So if you're living in Bermuda, you have about 2 days to prepare for this. Like I said, I expect them to issue those watches probably for Bermuda here soon. I really think that they're going to need them. Because, like I said, there's a lot of model support showing this system, you know, a lot of model support really showing this system getting possibly up in the tropical storm force conditions. We got some buoys out there, too, by the way. Look at that. It's cool. I'm just starting to notice, guys, it's getting darker earlier. Do you guys realize that? I just realized, usually at this time, 8:30, I can still see a little bit of light out my window. Nothing. It's completely black out there now. So, yep, it's getting darker earlier now. Already. Let's see here. Aiden, see, I'm gonna take a shower. Be back. Aiden will probably be off here in a few minutes, anyways. So I'll just catch you in the next one, Aiden. I appreciate you being here, man, and thank you for being a mod. That goes to all of our moderators out there. Thank you all for keeping the chat clean, keeping the chat nice and healthy. Oh wow, they did upgrade that probability. Look at this. So they have that that new system we're watching, the other system. They have it at a 70% chance now. I think it was at 60 last update. They give it an overall high chance of development now, which I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I mean, like, almost every model supports this. Pretty much every model supports this system here, and it looks like it could easily turn into another hurricane, potentially, at some extended outlook. Let's see here. I'm in New Hampshire, said Jesse. Gotcha. Yeah, New Hampshire, you know, could feel some effects out of this. Let's see here. Hello, thoughts and impacts on Philadelphia? I don't think there's going to be too many effects on Philadelphia, per se, because, you know, the storm's mostly going to be to your east. So I think Philadelphia should mostly be okay. Like I said, I'm not really too worried about it. I mean, like I said, obviously, whenever it comes to Philadelphia, I mean, you can see how, just how far away the storm is. So I think you're good. I think you're okay. Let's see here. I'm in Eastern Maine, says Latex. Gotcha. So no, yeah, you got several days to prepare for this. You know, you got about 5 days to prepare for it if you live in Maine. You know, like I said, obviously Maine and Nova Scotia seems to be like the heavy impact points out there by the Gulf of Maine. Ballpark idea for rainfall from LEAP. Like I said, there's a lot of factors that really contribute to this. So what if I was to even give you guys an example of what possibly could happen, it would 100% change, without a doubt. So, like I said, it's not even worth mentioning because it's going to change and it's going to be incorrect if I show you it right now. So, like he says, hey, Andrew, what is that storm Orlando going to? What? What are you talking about? Orlando going to? There ain't no storms going to Orlando right now. Ain't no, or hold on a minute. Oh, there's actually a storm in Orlando. Are you talking about current time? Because if you are, we actually have a severe thunderstorm warning for Orlando right now. Let me go and bring you guys over there real quickly. Wow. Orlando. quite a beefy storm out there by Orlando. It looks like, let's see, severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail. If that's what you're talking about, then yeah. Got a bit of a little frontal system rolling through. Some thunderstorms. Let's see here. How far to the south is the trough currently supposed to affect? Let's see. Which trough? Which one? How far to the south is the trough currently supposed to affect it? If I knew what trough you were talking about, I would let you know. Are you talking about that, that low pressure system that's, that cold front's on? Because, a trough is a dip in the jet stream, which is essentially a low pressure system. Depends on which one you're talking about. Let's see here. Maria says, hello from Manchester, New Hampshire. What's up? Saying it's really foggy and pouring hard outside. Well, I hope that you stay safe out there. Hope you stay safe. Brady says on Fox Weather, they said this reminds them of Hurricane Sandy. It has some similar characteristics. It does. I mean, considering, it's a very large system. It's forecasted to be a very large system. It's already growing into a large system. As well as it's impacting near some of the areas that Sandy hit. But Sandy went more like this. Sandy dug into the U.S. over here. This storm's going to go more north. Not to mention probably a lot less precipitation. A lot less precipitation. There wasn't much dry air that got to Sandy because Sandy was just a overall wet storm in general. And this one's going to have a pretty decent dry spell from what it looks like in this long extended range overall. Let's see here. What's up, Kobe? Hope you're doing good. See, current time, because I don't want the storm to go away. Gotcha. Let's see here. Mary says, bye everyone. Sorry I could not stay longer. I'm very tired. Thank you, Proxy, for the support. Absolutely. Well, Mary, you have a great night, and I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad I got to see you tonight. See, Brady says, you guys have been getting slammed in the Northeast with the stationary front. The Northeast has been getting hit pretty good out there. So y'all are getting some serious flooding right now, actually. Let's see here. Sandy formed the Caribbean, yep. Skimmed the East Coast and hit New York, New England hard. Yep, pretty much. Because it dug its way inland. It dug its way into the Northeast. And I think it went something like this. Oh, shoot. I think it went inland, and then I think it turned to the right a little bit. Overall. Let's see here. Stacy! Welcome to the Tropical Storm Club! Thank you so much, Stacy. Very sweet of you, Stacy. I appreciate that. Welcome aboard to the Tropical Storm Club. Thank you so much. By the way, is that membership thing a lot less loud now? I think I turned it down, so it should sound not as crazy. But anyways, Stacy, thank you so much. Like I said, it's greatly appreciated. Helps out. Big thank you. But like I said, yeah, we obviously got to be watching out for this guy as well. Let's see here. European model. European model really has this thing diving straight north, which is interesting. This model has it really digging up north here. Whenever it comes to CMC model with this guy, actually the CMC agrees. Could be a fish storm, ultimately. Icon. Yeah, too early to tell for most of this. Yeah, still really not too much known right now from that other system that could possibly hit. Sandy was a nor'easter and hurricane combined. No, Sandy was a beast. Sandy was a beast. Let's see here. VP Weather says, hey, NW06, what's up? I'm planning to get an ambient weather 1965 for a weather station. This is cheaper, alternative to weather station. Let's see, do I think it's a good weather station? I mean, whenever it comes to it, like I said, obviously I'm not too familiar with both of those models, but I have in the past have an ambient weather station, and it's pretty good. But always remember that you get what you pay for, and ultimately in the long run it could prove itself not reliable. I'm not saying it won't be. I'm sure it's a great station overall, but like I said, just if I was you, I would save up and get a better one. Like, I have a couple handhelds, like this guy, Kestrel. Kestrel's pretty good. I mean, this one's more for handheld readings and stuff like that. Once again, not a sponsor. Don't care about the sponsorships or anything. But then I got a, let's see here. What I have, Tempest. I have a Tempest weather station out back right now. So between Tempest and Kestrel, that's what I'm rolling with. I actually have parts to an RM Young Mesonet I'm working on too. So that's that. Didn't Sandy stall? I'm pretty sure yes. I'm pretty sure Sandy did stall. I said across the Northeast. It really rocked the Northeast. I remember it specifically. I was in Virginia. Even Northern Virginia got impacted very hard by tropical storm force winds and heavy rainfall. It was crazy storm. But anyways, well guys, we're gonna head off here pretty soon. Like I said, we've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. We typically go for an hour on these updates overall. I do want to go ahead and say, guys, we have finally reached 18,900 subscribers. Proxy, can you believe that? We're approaching 19,000 subscribers right now. Did you know that? Like, holy cow, guys. I can't thank you all more than enough. You guys seriously are awesome. I love all of you guys. Yeah, right now we're at 18,916 subscribers, which is amazing. It's super cool. So thank you guys so much for all your support. We love you guys. You know, all be safe out there. We'll keep you guys informed. Let's see, I've always been in New York. I remember Sandy clearly, but very bad for us. Yes, it was. Yep, it was for sure. See, I remember seeing water or videos of water rushing into subways. Wow. Are you talking like metros or like Subway Eat Fresh? But anyways, let's see here. But all right, you guys. Well, you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Like I said, we're gonna head off here in a few moments. If you guys have any final questions, like I said, feel free to let me know if you have any final questions. Let's see here. Gypsy Trails says, thank you for your explanation. I'm a new subscriber. Well, thank you for subscribing, Gypsy. Very, very sweet of you. And you are very welcome, my friend. You're so welcome. Like I said, I'm here for you guys. I want to make sure y'all are prepared. Make sure you guys are safe out there. And if, like I said, if there's anything I can help y'all with, please let me know. Like I said, there's going to be some times where I can't answer everybody's comment, but I will just know I always try my best. I always try my best. New York City subway system. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I know. No, Sandy was crazy. I specifically remember that. See, Proxy says, Andrew, so proud of the phenomenal growth of your channel. So well deserved. Thank you, Proxy. Like I said, Proxy, you've seriously helped out the channel a lot. You really have, and honestly, I owe a lot of my thanks to you. I really do. I really, really do. Justin says, I'm having Subway tonight. Sounds good. Definitely sounds good. But all right, guys. Well, like I said, if you have any final questions before we roll off here, I'm probably gonna head off here in about 3 minutes. So we'll head off here right around 8:50. So if there's any last questions that you guys have, like I said, feel free to let me know. Like I said, we'll be here for a few more minutes. So 3 more minutes, and then we're gonna head on to the ending. Any last questions? Going once, going twice. So meanwhile. Like I said, we have, like I said, I really think the eye is coming here. I really do. I mean, yeah, there's a bit of dry air in it, but I think that's part of the eye. I think that's just a big notch of just dry air. Looks like a big T. T for twistin'. She's a twistin', that's for sure. Let's see here. Have a good night. You as well. You as well, my friend. Let's see here. Swanky says, bye, guys. Hopefully that Orlando storm and other storms go away or get weaker. There's actually been a little bit of, let's see here. There's actually been a little bit of hail reported in that storm by Orlando. 0.25 inches. Let's see, Gypsy says, how often do I update? 2 times a day. I do it once in the morning, kind of early afternoon, late morning, and I do another one in the evenings. So I go live 2 times a day on tropical weather coverage. See, Electro says, thank you for the consistent coverage. You're very welcome. You are so welcome, guys. Like I said, yeah. I mean, we've probably already had, like, I think we probably already had, like, over 10 live streams on this system alone. So, like I said, we do rapid updates anytime I get new information. New models come through. Like I said, obviously in the morning, when I wake up, I get things ready, do a live stream, and then I do things out throughout the day. And then when it comes to evening time, jump back on here, do another one with the new updated models and all that fun stuff. So, you know, like I said, definitely But yeah, 2 times a day. 2 times a day. Let's see here. Proxy says have a have a restful evening. I thought Proxy said had a stressful evening. I was like, wait a minute, what? No, Proxy says have a restful evening. You as well, Proxy. Let's see. Looking forward to Andrew's next interesting education stream. Andrew rocks. Thank you, Proxy. Once again, thank you so much, Proxy, for supporting us. Like I said, we love you. Jenny too. I think Jenny. I don't know if Jenny's here or not anymore, but Jenny, Proxy, we love you guys. Thank you so much. For all the support. Like I said, we love you guys. You guys are awesome. Super, super sweet. Also, got to give a big shout out to Stacy as well for becoming a Tropical Stormer. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated there. And, but all right, guys. Well, it is now 8:50, so we're going to go ahead and head over here to the ending screen. Like I said, guys, feel free to join our Discord. We got our Discord if you guys want to hang out with us after stream hours. Like I said, I usually am there, most of the time. That is a really big area of interest. I just realized how massive that thing is. But we'll like I said, we'll be back again tomorrow morning at some point, maybe tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, with another update. But okay, well, you guys take care. Let's see, Gypsy says awesome. Thank you. Have a good night. You as well, Gypsy. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Greatly appreciated. And let's see here. Brady says thanks, Andrew. You're very welcome. Very, very welcome. I saw a shelf cloud in Minnesota. Wow, crazy. But, okay. Well, stream's going to head off here, guys, in approximately 2 minutes. So go ahead and say your final goodbyes to your friends and family, anybody who you're hanging out with in the chat. And until next time, my friends, we will catch you guys in the next update. Once again, Proxy, thank you so much for the support. We've missed you. Hope you're doing good, Proxy. Jenny, thank you so much for the donation, as well as Stacy. Thank you so much for becoming a Tropical Stormer. And, okay. Well, you guys take care. We love y'all. Please be safe out there. And once again, we'll do an update here for tomorrow morning. All right, guys, take care. Love y'all. Be safe. See you then.